Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is the Our Turf Football Podcast. I am Dana back here. I am so sorry. The, the camera on my laptop is acting up and it makes it look like a strobe light and it would make y'all really nauseous. So I just shut the camera off. You're just going to have to stare at this picture of me. I'm so sorry. But for those of you who listen to our podcast on your favorite streaming service, it will seem completely normal to you. So, welcome everyone. It is Our Turf Football Podcast. All four of us are here. We have Kate, we have Lisa, we have Sonia, and we're here. We're going to be teachers. We're going to do some grading. We're going to do some grading tonight. We think it'll be a good time. We're going to let you know how we think the teams in each one of the divisions that we cover, which we each have two. Lisa forgets that sometimes, but we each have two. We each have two divisions that we cover. We're going to go ahead tonight and
who in the chat can have my back on the AFC South? Is there anybody in the chat that can have my back on the AFC South?
Sure. Oh my God.
We got your back, Lise. You know
Yeah,
that.
I got thoughts on that division.
I have thoughts too. I have all kinds of thoughts today. So let's go ahead. Yes. John says, a pulsating Dana head. Yes, it is spooky. That's right. I did it on purpose. It's Halloween. No, again, sorry about my camera. So, all right. So, first and foremost, of course, we want to thank Donkey's Place Cheesesteaks for sponsoring our podcast. They have 3 locations in New Jersey, rated Anthony Bourdain's favorite cheesesteak. Just want everyone to know that. So, they are in Medford, Mount Holly, and Camden. And then, of course, you can go to goldbelly.com, look up Donkey's Place Cheesesteaks. They pop right up. When you type in Donkey's, it's the first one that comes up. And you can order that and have it sent directly to your home and enjoy it there. So, go check them out either in their 3 locations in New Jersey or on goldbelly.com. Thanks again to Donkey's Place Cheesesteaks. We love them. All right. We got to start with the Jets. We have to, right? Like
the elephant in the room.
Sonia, we have a group chat, obviously. We've had for 10 years now. And we have this group chat. And Sonia's like, oh my God, they fired Robert Saleh. We were all like, what? Like, we couldn't believe it. It was crazy for 2 reasons. He was on my short list of coaches on a hot seat.
Yes.
But how?
But damn.
How do you blame a coach who's had to have 6 different starting quarterbacks in his career? How do you have security march his tush out what in the hell happened? Kate, I know you have the thoughts.
I have all the thoughts. First, it started before Saleh got fired because I'm pretty sure yesterday during games, it was Aaron Rodgers is hurt. I said he wouldn't last 6 weeks, and then he was back again.
I did say that. I did. It's fair. I did.
Back. I don't know what to tell you. I come from the land of firing 3 head coaches in the same season. So we fire head coaches in Cleveland like it ain't nothing but a thing. We may be doing it again soon. I would love to be a fly on the wall. I love the Jets owner's statement coming out and saying that he talked to Aaron Rodgers yesterday, but that Aaron had absolutely 0 input or warning that Robert Saleh was going to be let go.
Raise your hand if you believe that. I know you guys can't see me. I'm not raising my hand. I don't believe that for 1 second. This whole thing stunk of Aaron Rodgers.
I expected Nathaniel
Hackett,
because he's Aaron's boy. I expected him to be interim, and so I'm surprised that he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's terrible. That's why. Sonia, what do you think about all of this? And did Robert Saleh get a fair shot in New York?
No, he did not. I think his defense got great. His defense was serviceable. His defense was good. Mm-hmm. But he didn't have all the resources he needed at quarterback, and he didn't have stability. And that's what you need. You need some stability. He didn't have that. Is it all the way his fault? No, of course not. He got blindsided. I feel awful for him. Even though I knew he was on the hot seat, I still feel awful because he got let go just like that. But it was not a fair shake to him. And I think that, I feel awful. I feel awful for him.
Lisa, here's the deal. He was a very highly sought after head coaching candidate. When he came out of San Francisco, he had that San Francisco defense just rocking. Right. He goes to a team, he inherits a team that was not good and had a disaster, brought the defense up. There's a good defense. We all know that. but got saddled with 6 different starting quarterbacks. Lisa, you of all people know how important the quarterback is. It sunk him.
It did. And it's, and that's why I say you live or die by your quarterbacks. And when we talk about Bill Belichick, he had Brady for all those years. That's why he had success. He didn't have to go through this roller coaster. When Aaron came on board, and I'm going to say something that'll probably get Kate a little riled up. I felt like with Aaron Rodgers, they're in the same boat that the Cleveland Browns are with Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. You paid him all that money, yet he's playing bad, and they won't pull him. Because they're just like, we can't. We just gave this dude all this money because Deshaun Watson has been playing horrible football. Mm-hmm. So is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers played like shit on Sunday. He played like crap. He looked like a 45-year-old quarterback. He did. And I'm going to tell you, do you all remember that video that surfaced when they had that little awkward hug and he kind of looked at Robert Salas?
Yep.
That was no joke. That was not, we can play it off as, it's a joke between us. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you,
Lisa is wound up today.
Yes, I'm with you. This stinks of Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely, 100%. This is his move. He's bitching. He's complaining. Nothing is ever Aaron Rodgers' fault. And you know what? If I'm Robert Saleh, I'm happy because I'm done with that old man. Let me move on to a team where I'll make a difference and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think the Cleveland Browns are in the same crap with Deshaun Watson.
They are. So we have some comments as we always do, because God knows we love our comment section. Just a reminder, if you are watching over on Twitter or Facebook, come over to YouTube, join the chat because we love your opinions. All right. So Sue says first, I do not believe that either. Aaron knew. Of course he knew. You cannot tell. What? I'm so shocked. I have no idea. And then Darcy, our good friend Darcy, how has Nathaniel Hackett still survived? Actually, I think we all know that answer. Cough. Rodgers, right? Like we said, he is Aaron Rodgers' guy for sure. I mean, that's what got him the job in Denver. Remember, he's like, well, Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. He might follow me here. Remember all of that. Don't forget any of that. All right. So then we have John. He says the Jets in Cleveland may have something in common with their head coaches being saddled with quarterbacks that they didn't want. And that could very well be true. I think that's very interesting. I think it's
well, and
more.
I sort of alluded to Kevin Stefanski being on the hot seat. I don't care that he won Coach of the Year twice. The spin in Cleveland on the sports talk radio and in the social medias is that Jimmy Haslam is making him play Deshaun Watson because he ultimately made that decision to pay him that money and make that trade. And he needs Deshaun to be good. And Deshaun is not good. He's not playing well. And Kevin's not helping himself. Deshaun got sacked 7 times this week. You're not calling the plays that are going to get the ball out of his hands when your offensive line that's a whole segment on its own. We've lost head coaches in Cleveland. Can I bring up Johnny Manziel and the head coaches that got fired because they were forced to play him when they didn't want to? And I think Robert Saleh absolutely got saddled with Aaron Rodgers. And now you've got another owner to add to my list of owners who are way too involved in football and need to just sit in an office somewhere and just sign checks and keep their mouth shut.
Right.
Yeah.
Sue, I'm with you. It is weird not seeing my face move. I'm sitting here nodding and agreeing with everyone. And I'm like, why? No one can see anything I'm doing. I swear to God, I will get this camera fixed this week. I promise. It'll be back to normal next week. All right. So nothing short of Watson Williams is going to get him benched. And I wouldn't necessarily go to that extreme, but you have to say the money is just a huge part of that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. We can
he
talk about
his new lawsuit yesterday, so that's done.
Yeah, whatever.
When he walked off the field in the fourth quarter on 4th and short, when Stefanski sent a play in, is when I would have said, keep walking all the way to the locker room.
No. Remember they spun that.
And he had to call we only had 2 timeouts left. He had to burn a timeout to get the punt unit on the field because Deshaun walked off.
All right.
That'll get you benched. I don't care who Jimmy Haslam is.
Yeah.
You can't have that in your locker room and expect the team to do well.
Right. All right, let's move on. We have 2 undefeated teams left. We have the Kansas City Chiefs, shocker, and the Minnesota Vikings, shocker. Yep. Love Loved
For real
everything about
shocker.
that. I know. Loved everything about that game in London. I thought they did a fantastic job. You know, it doesn't hurt me ever to see Aaron Rodgers get beat. So I think that was good. So congratulations to them and their fans, because they are both in a bye week now this week. So what a nice place to be sitting, for sure, to stack those wins early. And the Chiefs finally looked almost like themselves last night in Monday Night Football. So that was nice. All but nothing backups. I mean, okay, Lisa, I'm going to say it. Patrick Mahomes is magic. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
And Taylor Swift looked pretty good. Taylor Swift looked pretty good. Nice dress. She looked good.
But did you guys?
Wow.
Bill Belichick.
He actually complimented Taylor Swift.
I know, that is shocking. But Bill Belichick last night, he was on the Manning cast. Every time they showed her, he'd be like, oh, God. Oh. He'd make some sort of noise. It was hilarious.
Yeah, but yet his girl is 2 years younger than her. So
yeah.
Did you notice he kept talking about the red area? Is it not the red zone? Has it not always been the red zone? And Bill kept calling it the red area or something. I'm like, is he not allowed to use the phrase red zone anymore?
Bill lives in his own world.
I was about to say, in his world, that it's a Billism.
So
I'm
it's
sure.
that red area down there.
Apparently in the red area. They're having trouble in the red area. I'm like, okay.
Awesome. So yes. And Sue had a really nice thing to say to that. I'm so happy for Sam Darnold, finally the right setting for him. Agreed. Yeah. Telling you, sometimes it just takes, for sure. All right. So let's move on. So tonight, what we wanted to talk about with you guys is we wanted to give kind of our ratings, our grades for these teams. And the reason that we're doing this is because we have said for years on this show that you don't really know who a team is until weeks 4 to 6. Well, guess what? That's right where we're at, so we got to look at it. We got to take these injuries into account. We got to look at some things and what they're doing within their division. And we're going to rate these teams. So we are going to start. Okay, Lisa, I'm going to start with the division really, really well. We're going to start with the AFC East.
Yes.
So that's the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. Now, I want everyone to understand, we've already used 12 minutes of this podcast. So we have to keep it short and sweet, or else we'll have these people here for 2 nights. For sure. So, all right, let's go ahead. Lisa, where are you at with all these teams in your division?
I'll tell you what, I think the Bills are still the division winner. I still think, even though we could take probably another half hour talking about that fiasco that happened with Josh Allen getting knocked unconscious and going back into the game. I think the Jets, the Dolphins, and it just left me. And the Patriots are all still in fluxes with quarterbacks. I think the Dolphins will stable out a little bit when Tua comes back, maybe. But right now, they all seem to me, the Bills have it. Clearly, I think the division winner because of Josh Allen. But 2, 3, and 4, I still think it's up for grabs because these teams are all not playing very good football.
Right. So what are your grades for them? Think about it. I'm trying, when I was thinking about this today, when we decided what we were going to do, hold on 1 second. Let me tell you. So what I was thinking is I want to take into account what they've had to deal with, their schedule, kind of a little bit of all of it, because you can just say, oh, that's an F. They're terrible. Well, why are they terrible? Oh, because they've gone through their entire offensive line and their quarterback. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe that's just me being nice, but I'm trying to take into account. So where are you at grade wise with these guys?
Well, I would say Buffalo right now, they're about if I go A, B, C, D, like a school standard, sure. I would give the Buffalo Bills a B.
Yeah.
And I would give all the rest of the teams Ds.
Okay.
Okay.
Even with the Dolphins injuries, because I really did take that into account.
No.
They're
okay. They're
division.
No, they're playing horrible.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, let's move on then. That was good and quick, Lisa. I'm so proud of you. I know. All right, we're going to move on to the AFC West. That, believe it or not, is my division. That's no surprise to anybody. So the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders. So interesting thing here. I think the Chiefs, you have to give them like a B plus or an A, just because with the injuries and everything that they have gone through. And I mean, really, their biggest weapons on offense are gone right now, and yet they're still 5-0. There's no way to work around that. It's an A, right? For sure.
Definitely.
Then you go to the Broncos, who are at 3-2, the Chargers 2-2, and the Raiders 2-3. So this is a little more interesting for me. So I have a really hard time saying anything nice about the Broncos because of their head coach, but they have really been impressive in a couple of these games. And I loved that Bo Nix yelled at Sean Payton on the sideline the other day. Oh, that made me happy. I got goosebumps, right? Because that shows that kid's got a backbone, and that's what you need if you are going to be coached by that man, right? So I'm enjoying, even though they don't have some fantastic, crazy record and they started off real rough, I'm impressed. I was giving them a B minus. I think that they're really kind of headed in the right direction. I think that's been pretty impressive what they have done. The Chargers and the Raiders, I'm not near as high on, and I really expected a little bit more out of Evil Harbaugh. I'm not going to lie. I think that I thought that he might come in there, shake the Yahtzee out, and be like, ta-da, there's Justin Herbert, just like we thought the whole time. And that hasn't happened yet. Now, granted, Herbert has been injured, right? So we need to try and keep that in mind, of course. And they've had some other injuries too. But I think they're at a solid C minus. I'm not very impressed with where they're going, and I don't know the trajectory is up. The Raiders are a mess. The Raiders are a straight D. I don't know what's going on with that team. Now they're mad at their head coach. They're getting rid of their best player on the team. That team is still the dumpster fire it has been the last few years. I tried to keep in mind, Lisa, that they do not have a quarterback. Right?
They do not.
They don't. And
we talked about it though. We talked about
did.
the Raiders in this problem when we first started, which is kudos to us because I think we nailed it. Everything that's happened is everything we said that would.
Yeah, and it's true. You're absolutely right. And so, yeah, I am worried for Raiders fans because this does not look like it's getting any better for sure. All right. So next we have the AFC North. Kate, how are you feeling about those teams?
Yeah, so I wanted to give the entire division an F. Because I make the argument that we are the toughest division in football and we're playing awful football. From top to bottom, it's awful football. The Bengals and the Ravens went to overtime on Sunday, and had the Bengals won, this division would have Pittsburgh at 3-2, the Ravens at 2-3, the Bengals at 2-3, and the Browns at 1-4. It's ridiculous how bad all of these teams are playing in this division. I'm going to give the the Ravens a B+ because they are on a 3-game winning streak. They lost those first 2 games, but it was way too close against the Bengals, and the Bengals just can't get out of their own way. The Steelers get a C because their defense is going to get more and more tired because they don't have an offense for Justin Fields. So they're tied with them at 3-2. And you've got the Browns and the Bengals both at 1-4. The Browns get a big fat F because their quarterback play and their offensive line is awful. And I only give the Bengals a D because they have the talent to be better. They just have to figure out what's going on in their heads because they're not playing well considering the talent they have. They're making these little mistakes that send them to overtime against a division rival, and then they lose. So since I can't give the whole division an F, we're going to go B, C, D, F. It's
That's
not
fair.
I can't call you the best division in football when you are all playing so far below what you're capable of.
It's funny you say that because I said that to my husband this weekend. I said we were touting how good this division was going to be, and they can't get out of their own way for the life of them. And it's very surprising. It's been very surprising for sure. Yeah. All right. We are going to go through the last AFC team, and then we're going to get to some of our comments because we have lots of comments in chat. Cool. So we're going to start with Go ahead. Hello. Well, did Kate freeze?
She's frozen. I think she froze.
Oh, okay. So we're going to go on. So we have the AFC South, the Texans, Colts, Titans, and Jags.
Hit it, Lisa.
Lisa, that's you.
Oh, that's me. Okay. Geez, this division. Oh my God. The Colts. Let's start with the Colts and Flacco. Okay.
I mean, come on,
Anthony
Joe.
Richard. I mean, if you're a Colts fan, are you a little worried right now? Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Kate, who keeps taking her? Kate, this is hilarious.
Kate, you got to show Kate.
John said Kate froze just like the Browns offense. Thank you, John.
I just kept talking, and I'm like, oh, it looks like Dana froze. Sonia, let's talk about your. And then I'm like, oh, I think it's me.
Well, at least it's moved on to the AFC South. So we're going to
Yes, I moved on. And so the Texans have an A. Okay, let's just get them right out of the way.
So
they're doing great. I mean, I think CJ's the real deal. I mean, he's really looking like, the same CJ we saw last year, getting better. Diggs, I'm still telling y'all, it's going to blow up. But but I'm on the Colts right now. If you're a Colts fan, you have to be worried about Richardson and staying healthy. Flacco, if Flacco's being Flacco, he comes in and gets, he looked great. That was a great game. So I think I'm going to give the Colts a B just because of them getting Flacco to back up Richardson. So I'm going to give them a B for effort because that was a great move on their part.
Yeah.
The Jags,
the Jags are 1-4. The Titans
they're
are
tough
1-3.
because
streak.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do a D just because I just don't think Trevor is living up to the contract that he signed. So I'm gonna give the Jags a D because they're one of the team in this division that has a healthy quarterback that signed a lot of money. So you would to me, I would be expecting the Jags to be pushing on the Texans' heels to get something done. So I would say that's the the bottom line. I'd give them a D also. The Titans, where do I go with this team?
I don't know. It's so frustrating to watch them play.
I don't feel like Will Levis is their quarterback. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. You're getting subpar play from him. I think this team's still in a little bit of a flux of trying to find out who they are and which direction they want to go. I think you're going to see a ton of changes in this team next year. I think you're just going to try to ride with what they have now. And then, this year to me, just I think they're just licking their wounds from having a new head coaching staff, having Will Levis, losing Derrick Henry, just, to me, they're in a flux. So I'm going to give them an F for failure this year. So
just because they got to just completely start over again.
They do. I think they're just a team that you're going to see rebuild next year.
That's absolutely true. All right. So let's get to some of these comments about the AFC. I absolutely love them. So we have John here says the entire AFC East is a C at best. All right.
I'll give you that.
The Bills are a B.
The Bills are a little higher. Sue says I'd give the Bills a C and the rest a D. Ooh, you guys are way harsher than we are. My goodness gracious.
We got to do this again at week 10 to see if they've changed.
I know.
For realsies.
That's so true. Sorry, I'm going through these as I let's see. I got Camden's here. Hi, Camden. Good. Camden could make it. John says there's no sunshine in Jacksonville. That is very true.
They're figuring that out, John.
They are. Darcy says the Steelers are watching on Sunday. They're screwed if they don't score above 20 points in the game. That is, I agree.
Until Russell comes back. When Russell comes back, that's going to change.
They're actually talking about that in comments that they don't think that he's going to be much better.
Yeah, he will. Russell don't let it fly.
And I think the difference with Russell is that they'll be extending the drives. There'll be longer drives. I don't know if they'll put up more points, but they will be longer drives and better field possession for the defense to handle. That defense is really good. It just can't be on the field for 35, 40 minutes.
Exactly. No. Russell has a better downfield game. Yeah. Russell has a better downfield game, and that's huge. Field just doesn't. Yeah.
Right. And then John also God love him. Will Levis's plays the lottery. His favorite game is a pick six. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Agreed.
All right. So now we're going to go to the NFC. We are going to start with the NFC East, the Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants.
All right. Washington, they get an A.
Yeah.
They get an A.
Hey.
They're 4-1. Jalen Daniels is doing the thing. They're coming together. They're looking like a team. I give them an A. There's room to work. I grade on a curve, guys. I'm nice. Okay. I grade on a curve.
Go right
ahead. We got some mean comments already on that.
I know. Exactly. But no, I think they get an A. They're doing a great job. Could it change? Yeah. But right now they're rolling along, beating teams, doing things that they need to do.
God, love that.
Coming, and they're beating them like handily too, right? Like they are, their offense is clicking. They're doing what they need to do. Okay. Cowboys. C
That's
minus.
Minus.
Oh, and she's being nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Guys. Okay. C. I'll give them a C. They won on Sunday, an away game in the rain. I'll give them a C. They've got some work to do. They've got some work. They always start off great-ish and then kind of So right now we're at a C. We're doing average. We're not wowing anybody, but we're not disappointing anybody yet. So I think we're good there.
Timmy Hockey in comments says C. He agrees.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
Eagles. I'm gonna give y'all C minus D because
No, gotta be one or the other. Gotta be one or the other.
okay, fine. C minus.
Oh, there you are.
You know I'm gonna be nice. C minus. They're just a mess right now. I don't know what their thoughts are. I don't know if it's just I don't know, but they're just kind of a mess. I think they might get it together, or this might just be a year where they're just kind of down a little bit. They're not winning the division again this season.
No.
And then last but not least, the Giants. I'm gonna give them a D. Actually, no, I'm gonna give them a C minus too. You know why? Because they won a couple.
They beat Seattle. Seattle didn't even
Seattle.
bother. They didn't even bother
We
showing up
didn't
for that
think-
game.
They were not supposed to beat Seattle. They were not supposed to beat the Browns.
All right.
So I'm giving them a C minus. And they still have Danny Dimes. So yeah.
Danny Dimes.
That's what we call him, but I don't know. So I have to say this. Not a quarterback lover. Y'all know that.
Yes,
about
I
me.
tush pushed that Eagles grade up. We know.
That's right. John says that. He sure did. What I love about this Commanders team is their head coach, because you know how I feel about Mr. Dan Quinn. God, I love him as a head coach. Love him. And Lisa, you'll be so proud of me. I freaking love Jaden Daniels. That kid, he's not afraid of anything. He doesn't.
Oh.
He has rookie moments for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
He's just so fun to watch. That whole team is fun to watch. I'm enjoying. I love watching those games and try to if I can, especially if it's a game of the week. Just out there to our listeners, please vote for the Commanders. It makes my life way more fun. So,
we gotta get all the Seahawks fans.
Oh no, not this week. No. All right. So John says last 2 weeks the Giants have overcame what should have been devastating mistakes and won. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They sure did. And
She still gave a C minus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Sonia, the Eagles got the Browns this week, so this will determine if their grade gets the minus or if it drops down to a D.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right. The next division is the NFC West. Whoa. Well, I just want you guys to know, even though Seattle has had dumpster fire games back to back, they're still in the top of that division. Talk about a division that should be so much better than it is. I don't know what is going on. The Seahawks right now, I tried to guess they're my team, but also I'm thinking logically. I'm trying to think new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, all new assistants. But pretty much same team. And then the devastating injuries that they had in the Lions game was horrifying. But then they got them all back and still stunk it up this last week. So I'm not sure what's going on with Seattle. I am giving them right now a solid C because I am just confused. Either we are going to see a big, uptick in their play as these, coaches and coordinators get more comfortable, or this is an 8 to 9 win team. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. So I'm just going middle of the roading it with them. Now, where I get to have a lot of fun is the rest of the division, because the Cardinals of all teams are in second place. And I have to say, they only are 2 and 3.
Did we get a grade?
Yeah.
I didn't hear a grade.
I said C for the Seahawks.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
C. Hawks. C. No, I'm just kidding. But so then, you guys can't see me. I was doing the C. This is so weird with my camera broken. I'm sorry. But the Cardinals are getting a B out of me. And you know why? Because they are 2-0 in their division. That's impressive to me. I can't stand Kyler Murray. And now he's got some deal with the video game that he likes to play. And he's like, all the haters just got me a bag, whatever. Shut up, Kyler. He just drives me crazy. But the rest of the team is looking pretty good. They won 2 games, and the 2 games they won were against the Niners and the Rams. So, I mean, I have to give them kind of an upshoot for that. Then you have the 49ers, who are also 2-3, who play really well until they stop in the fourth quarter. And then they end up losing the game. They cannot finish these games for the life of them. I, as a Seahawks fan, love every minute of it. As a football fan, I'm completely confused. I'm not sure what's going on with them. They do have some injuries, but not to this extent. Anyway, so we'll see. I am giving them the same grade I gave the Seahawks, with a C. The one team that is not getting a C out of me is the Rams. The Rams they're 1-4. They're in their bye week this week. They have been no Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua. But they still have Matt Stafford. They still have some other players. They still have Williams, who's been a great running back for them. But they just can't put it together. And it feels like Sean McVay is having a hard time coaching around some of these issues that they're having. So I'm giving them right now, it looks like a D, probably a C- to a D, just because I think that they're struggling more than they probably should. Although, yes, I understand their injuries are serious. So. All right. Then we are moving on to the NFC North.
Cool. All right. Excited about this one. I'm surprised that John is giving the Vikings a B+, because their last 2 games were not played consistently over 60 minutes. That gives them an A- in my book. I am nice. I grade on a curve, guys.
My goodness.
I almost would. Yeah, I'm being nice. I'm saying nice things. I'd at least give them an A- to an A+, because they're 5-0. Nobody expected it. Sam Darnold is the second coming. He looks great. The team is put together. Next week, well, no, they're on a bye week next week. So, yeah, don't even have to worry about that. So, yeah, I give them an A+.
Nice.
See, John, look at me go. Next up are the Lions. I'm going to give them B+. I think they have done a very good job. They have done a serviceable job. Still a couple mistakes here and there, but overall, I'm very pleased with how they've played. They are 3-1 on the season. They're just getting out of their bye week, so I'm thrilled. I think they're doing great. I'm giving them B+. Like I said, still some things to clean up to make sure that they are truly kneecap biting people.
Love it.
Packers, I'm gonna give them a B-. I think they they're serviceable. They're doing well.
That's great on a curve.
Jordan Love was injured. They played well despite that. So I think they're good. They've had a couple of mishaps in some games. So that's why I'm not gonna give them like a full B+. So B-.
All right.
The Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is actually kind of giving them some wins. I'm going to give them a C+. They have won. Lisa, leave me alone. Let me grade.
I want you to be my teacher in high school.
Let me cook. Jeez.
Love it.
But yeah, no, I'm going to give them a C+. I think, they've got a rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams who, started off looking kind of iffy, but he's coming around. He's improving every single game, and that's all that you can really ask for. So yeah, I think they're getting better. They've had some injuries. They've had some inconsistent wide receiver play, but I'm gonna give them a C+. So that's my divisions.
Love it.
Thanks.
Love it. And I would give the Packers a good grade too, because they did play well without their starting quarterback. And see, a coach that can coach around it. McVay's not doing that. Anyway, okay. NFC South, the last division we are going to grade. Kate, where are you at with them?
I actually mostly love this division.
Really?
The Falcons at 3-2 are 2-2 at home and 1-0 on the road. They've only had 1 road game so far.
Oh my God.
Which is why they're getting a B+ and not an A, because they played an awful lot at home, but they are 2-0 in the division and beat the Buccaneers, which is huge. And I think everybody's expectations were very low with the Falcons. They've got Kirk Cousins. And then with what they did in the draft and all the other stuff, we were like, these people are crazy. They're actually playing really well during this basically homestand that they've had. Right. So giving them a B+. Buccaneers are getting a B plus as well, and they're not getting an A because they didn't beat the Falcons. They're 0-1 in the division, but Baker Mayfield is he's hitting his stride.
Yeah.
That team is playing really well. The Saints are a surprise for me, even though they're 2-3. They are another team that has played really well. Like when you see the Saints on your schedule, it's not just a gimme. Although now that it looks like Derek Carr is hurt, I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. They're getting a C because they could go either way at this point.
Yep.
And that leaves us with the Carolina Panthers, and I'm giving them a C. And I know they're 1-4, but let me tell you, they started the year scoring 3 points and 10 points, but now their offense has figured it out, and their offense is putting up 36, 24. Like their offense is not bad. It's their defense. They're scoring 24 and giving up 34. They're scoring 26 and giving up 36. Like the first couple weeks was all F, but I feel like the offense has kind of figured it out. Now the defense has to do something, which it's not going to do. This is a below 500 team. It is what it is. And that's probably the best for them in the long run because they need some high draft picks. But I'm going to give them a C. I love this division. It is way more competitive than I thought it was going to be, even with the Panthers being bad.
You know what's interesting? I've said for years, I think we have all agreed that the Saints-Falcons rivalry is one of the best in football that no one pays attention to. And if you are within those fan bases, they despise each other. And if that wasn't proven after that game, the fans literally curb stomp on each other. Like they hate each other. Like this is insane. And the teams play with that energy. They're very fun to watch. So if you ever get a chance to watch a Saints-Falcon game, you should. It's really fun. But I agree. The Bucs have been a joy to watch this year. And I didn't expect that again quite this much. We thought they might win the division because we weren't sure what was happening with the Saints. But it will be interesting.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. It will be
I
very
waited for him to bring up the Rattler.
I know. Spencer Rattler. Everyone wants Spencer Rattler. I know. Where's
Spencer
Big
Rattler?
Where's
He
Big
hasn't,
Red
he
when you
hasn't
need
been
him?
named the starter yet. He has
I know,
not been
Big-
named the starter yet.
Big Red would be in here pounding the table for him. Where are you at,
Yeah,
Big Red?
but
We
he
missed
should
you,
be.
so.
With Kamara running the ball as well as he's running.
Agreed.
You can put a young quarterback in and you've got options to keep him
Mhm.
from getting killed.
Yeah, I like
Mhm.
this division too. So, or at least Kate, sorry, I just literally read down your names. Yes, I love this division too. It's a lot of fun. So let's go ahead. This one is for you. This is from Timmy Hockey. The Browns are F.
I can't-
I know.
I
we
can't
agree.
disagree.
I know. John said that the Vikings get a B plus because their last 10 games were not played consistently for 60 minutes. Funny thing is, that's his team.
But you know what, John?
Bro, you're
You
5-0.
are what your record says you
5-0.
are. And as long as
Yeah.
they are undefeated, they get an A.
No
They-
shit.
And
Get
honest
with
to
the program,
God,
John. You're not going to jinx
No.
him. Give him a damn A.
so
That's what he's doing. He's like, I can't give an A because I give an A.
He's
If I give him
typical
an A,
Viking fan, right? They're
right? If I give an
afraid.
A, they might
They're
screw up.
afraid to
No, I can't do
believe.
that.
They're Lucy holding the football, and the minute they believe they can kick it, she's going to jerk it
Yeah.
away.
I
They're all being very
too
cautious.
have football PTSD, so I'm with you there, John. I get it for sure. All right, so John also says that Kyler Murray must be the most overrated quarterback in the game. He's a running back who throws once in a while. Well, I don't enjoy him. I don't know.
Glorified
if
running
that's
back.
it.
Yeah.
And then he also says the Niners get an incomplete with all the injuries. No. Unless we give incompletes to every other team with injuries, that is not. No, they get
They don't
graded
even
for
have the
what they
most
have.
players on IR.
Well,
They
And the
don't.
thing about it this year, and it just seems weird. And we're talking about all these teams that we expectation. To me, it's these teams are making mistakes.
Right.
They're killing
Yeah.
themselves.
Messy
Yeah.
football.
Procedures. I mean, it's like you go you make 3-4 yards, boom, penalty, you're back.
Yeah.
It just seems these teams are all just killing themselves. It's not very good football we're watching right now.
Right.
Because
Agreed.
they're just
But-
losing themselves.
When it's
Right.
making your fantasy football lineups a hot mess, because you're right, these teams are making stupid mistakes. This will be an interesting conversation at week 10 or 11
Oh yeah.
Right.
when they've had time to shake the rust off and figure out.
And get injuries done and get people
Yes.
back. And
Well, hopefully. Darcy said the Rams and Niners are just decimated by key injuries. You know what? It happens to a division every year. I think you're right. NFC West might be it. Then we have this one was my favorite. It's Kirktober is what it is. I love that, John. We'll see what happens. And then
flag surfing, kind
then
of.
we have Karen. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for watching. Karen is a family member of mine, love her to death. Says I don't like C's. She is a Saints fan. We deserve it. I don't know. I think they look pretty good. I'm pretty great.
Better than
So,
D. It's passing.
Just because I don't know what you're going to do at quarterback. Let's see.
Right.
Let's see who starts
I'm
and
so
who comes
impressed with
in,
what
and
they've
it could
done.
go up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so
Where's the
impressed with it.
deal when you need it, right?
You're right. Then we have John that says truly says San Francisco had a 10-point lead in the fourth and they didn't hold it.
Yes.
That's been a huge part of it. So absolutely. All right. So we've given out our grades. You know where we sit after our 6 weeks, but I think Kate is right. This is going to be a very interesting conversation to have again come week 12 to 14. As we head into the end of the season, as we get into that kind of playoff picture, gets a little clearer. And so we can see what's happening. Playoffs? No, but I'm not kidding.
Right.
So, but I
think
think the other good point that was made tonight truly is that this has been a weird season and football is kind of messy and it's not been super keen, which we expect by week 6. So hopefully we'll see some of those improvements coming up here pretty soon. So, all right, everyone, that is our show for tonight. We will be back again next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as we are every single week. And I will have my camera fixed, so you won't have to look at a pulsating picture of Dana. So hopefully that will be all good. So we hope you guys join us again. And thanks so much. Have a good night, everybody.